Alright, I've made the dough into a triangle, and I'm going to let it rest for a minute because we're going to cut it up and we're going to make the calzone. Okay, I've gotten the bread turned out, the bread dough, the pre-made bread dough. I've made it out into a triangle. That is how we're going to start our calzone. Now I've let it sit for a while. I preheated the oven to 400. I believe it's 375, but I'll check on that in a minute. Move you guys a little bit closer. Now I've also got some tomato sauce, and I've got cheese and pepperoni, and we'll go from there. So first thing is we want to make our working area, which is basically we're going to thin. We're not cutting all the way through the thing, we're just highlighting where we can actually put the fillings. I'm sorry if my voice is like that. It's morning and I haven't really talked to anybody yet. But we do it that way, and that way we can put the fillings in here. Now we're going to make several cuts, and we got the all-important pizza cutter again. Rah! I seem to use this in every one of the videos. But we are going to make some cuts for the head, which are straight up. Then make some cuts for coming out from that central area. Those are the shoulders. And then we're going to make cuts, and you want to make sure you have even ones, because it's sort of like shoelaces, because you want to be able to string them together. We're going to cut that all the way down. This don't do what I just did. You might want to cut them at the same time across from each other, otherwise you get off like I just did. So we've got several areas there that we're going to be able to work with. And I didn't have my mise en place, there he goes, my spoon. So I'm actually take the pizza sauce. Before that, one of the things I did want to do is I've got some salt-free garlic and herb that I'm going to actually add to it, but I'm going to add it all over just to make the bread tastier. Because most of that I probably shouldn't add it to the head, but I did. So now on that inside, I'm going to actually put the sauce I probably should have opened all these things before, because me is a bad host. And what I like to do, simply because you can't get a lot of stuff in here, or you seemingly can't get a lot of stuff, I'm going to actually put down the pepperoni first, because then we're going to layer on the cheese, and then I'm going to put more pepperoni in. Because if I'm eating a calzone, I want it chock full of goodness. So it's alright if you overstuff him, because, you know, if stuff is coming out at the end, well, it makes it look like his, you know, guts are bursting out from the inside. So, there we go. Alright, here's where we're going to play a little bit. Now the shoulders, you gotta make sure you leave a little bit of them out so that they look like shoulders. And then when you get the others, you want to make sure that they stretch a little bit across the top. The elastic bread is very elastic. So down here at the feet, you want to just kind of roll them up a little bit to where they look like feet. The head, you also want to kind of roll up a little bit so that it's making a little ball underneath, so that it's a it looks like a head. So I've got the oven preheating to 400. I'm going to actually check my bread dough. Yes, I'm going to actually do it at 325. For 30 minutes. So, in we'll go, and I'll talk to y'all on the other side of our little pizza man, our pizza mummy. A little correction on that, I'm actually doing it at 350 for 20 to 25 minutes. We'll check it at 20 and go from there, and you'll see it when it's all done. Okay, basically about 23 minutes later, I was able to pull it out. Didn't come out like I wanted it to. I probably should have tucked in the different things underneath and made sure that it was, you know, covered, because it didn't come out that great because a lot of them separated and folded back. But we're going to try again. We're going to make using the same type of thing, we're going to make a dessert type pizza, or a dessert using cherry pie. So, but this is our first one, or like what I like to call lunch. Alright, I've made another one, laid it out, created the cuts for the bandages. I'm going to actually stretch those out a little bit farther than the ones we did with the calzone one, because when I cross them over, I'm going to actually try to tuck them under the body. That way, hopefully they'll hold their place better than the one for the calzone did. But I've got some light cherry that I'm going to use for the innards, for his guts, and just place those in my already pre-marked little thing, because that way tomorrow we'll be able to cut him up by the slice. Wow. I hope I get one can in this guy. He's got a lot of guts. So, as I take a spoonful of cherries, I took about half the can. And we'll go through it again. I like my fingers, so I need to wash my hands. Bad cook, bad cook. Alright, so I'm going to go through the process again. First making the shoulders, not soldiers. Just all the little soldiers. So, again, like I said, I want to stretch that out a little bit so that we make sure to get that all the way across. Paying a lot more attention this time to the folds. Some of the leftovers. Got a lot left over down to the feet here. He's going to have huge feet. Surgery. I've removed the feet. Dodge. No. Sorry. I won't give that to my dog. That may not be good for him. So, you make little feet. Cut it up so he has individual feet. There. Nope, looks like elf feet. And I'll readjust the head a little bit so that it looks like a head, like a little round head. So, And to avoid the brown spots, what you might want to use is cleaner, nicer cookie sheets than I've used. I guess I've got to get new ones. But he looks good. And we'll see you again in about 20 or 25 minutes. Well, it turned out it looked much better than the pie, but it kind of burst in the oven and his guts all spilled out. So I have a nice looking mummy, but a very gutless mummy. So you can try and try. Like I said, it looks good. I wonder how much is left inside. So, anyway, I'll let y'all know. Happy Halloween!